Where we are, or what IMF stands for, is that IMF here, organization be you and I know say, a friend International Monetary Fund, and yet United States government in agency, but then it is an agency and as a corporate body be or what the owners and when shareholders, countries be our fund and also Musika, our IMF. IMF, you need almost away IMF currency. Rather generally, the US soil, you would anticipate, say, more or less, dollar nom di diablo, it is more below a dollar. And your countries, and in America, and I didn't see IMF. Your business, and individuals, and your business interests. If you crown a monarchy, a monarchy bisika, and on the Akotoa, British for whom, Saudi Prince, woman in a manima, can be nom the Yachuma. And Jerome is there. The IMF is also an institution just there. They manage the resources, financial resources of other investors and other shareholders. And to me, any tier for Obia Bitimi at the scan office on financial, which him to call IMF to come out. Someone in your Juma, Monfambo Busia, now won't give you the returns. Omo, I pay agreement, want to me the Alamodi at the Amai. Now, Obia Muchina, countries be Muchina, which him call IMF. Nemo interestingly, country Buakana and Honchino, or enough resources. But if you say, Nisika or the IMF noms to the Juma, as also called GP, no the Juma plus minus, instead of a no consolidated account, and I said, Obacon the fund, or IMF. Now in Pimpino, so we share the borrowing conditions are our IMF for third world country, Africa. Yeah, percentage you. Ubusoma, what they tell you, you say, yeah, they are the risk in high. And then the Cobas say Germany, Ecogisca IMF. The economy, any now. Not Germany, interest rate to Triano, I am lower than Ghana. And then I just America now, I had the soil of IMF, no, I want to assassin. Now she is one of the world's most richest country, no. Only me local IMF, see a quadrillona. Only 4%, then we 9%, and at 25%. We Harris. On top of it, world countries, IMF from the advanced nations, and as a stronger economy, IMF for a moment condition. Condition be a new one. The young qua, no amount conditions. The OG Sikana, Anopa, Mamusha, and Moinjare, a macromo for Yayanopa, Mujari and Subasa. I'm going to put a moment shoe, Omanante. Sir, wood independence, Amonum Coca-Cola, Morton Common. No amount, a lot of conditions, and you can call it, sir, an enslaved condition and enslavery as a result of power from this kind of obeji. And let us not forget, sir, our organization, and yet Vatican, and yet by any one of your business. I'm a worker home and most African governments and African countries, the economy, I say. Because if we're in good business and the economy grow and your way and your sika, what does it mean? What it means is my IMF, I'm a bobosia. No. You won't come to IMF to borrow. And it's Russia, most of African countries, IMF, Bashisha, Ashes opposition, Chinombe be say, ruling government, Chinombe be ya, Omko much, and Manyama ye, Asabasa. It is one watch ya, your country Ghana. NPP was we, I'm a force, Obitima, oh my idea, no more ya, dear, said they know me before. No, I don't be free sooner, was is the West government. DBD, Sevi, President Kofo, DBD Jerry. DBD President Mahama, DBD President Mills, for what you can see. IMF, a business hub. Now, only African in ye. Now, Yakopa den ho. Yako IMF be 2 times. I'm a free ho. Yenya say conditions na omdimaye no and na Ghana yentimi grow economy to some extent. IMF conditions amount to grow employment because cannot demand. What you say? A country like 30 million populated nation. The whole country, government, civil servants, and public servants. Only 800,000. From 1 million. Country Ghana, Nipa not more than 1 million. And a year, Juma. Police, and the biggest of the civil and public servants, or 35,000. Military, 23,000. Nimi Lukaboma, Faransa bear 60,000. Only these two. Customs bear 15,000. Ebikuomu Dukrab, captains bear customs bear 7,000. Immigration around 7,000. Omudu. And you can wear the boma. They are canning only ministries only say. Minister and the deputy secretaries 2, 4. Managers, directors, chief director, the secretary, and the support services in the office, Nipa Bear 5. Obadawa, supervisor, manager, this, that. Oka one ministry, Nipa Doso, Air Finance, Omunu 2,000. We finance if you are, Oka Ministry of Trade, Omunu 2,000. We Ministry of Trade for Agric, Omunu 2,000. Ministry, Omakawe. And our public civil servants. And the teachers and numbers doors. What can we mean my account? Just only calculations. You don't get more than 1.5 million, 1.2 million. This is one part I said. The direct tax are government or workers. Jumaifo a year abantu muka. Enu 1.5, 1.2 million. Next said the engine of the economy no understandably private sector. Private sector no only finance, only loan, only sika or the year ejuma. Because baby no man sika, bank be no money loan. Enti what hijack the liberalization of your own economy. Your economy no and your fluid, and your lubrications, and your lubricated, and your stiff. They say we track needs to have any hydraulic. The Ghanaian economy starts. Now, IMF, now country war resources. There were a lot of resources. Ghana could have been the leading producer or the leading supplier or manufacturer of those resources. Which are they? Yanyaba the cocoa. Which are they? Your resources of gold. But for me, I would say, even gold hasn't got any economic viability. A mineral, a rich mineral, interest can be a papa biama. Gold doesn't give anybody daily money. It has not. It has a value in terms of a mineral, but it hasn't got the value in terms of turnover on daily basis as compared to water. Semi-tons and then Ubia tons you organ, Ubianum sune, Nipasa nato gold, 0. Until the gold is only rested in terms of value, our stocks, and not in terms of liquidity. Now, that's a near my timber, bauxite. Now, you are doing the money is in the agric produce, food stuffs, poultry, meat, dairy products. I know that the area said, and this caliber. One or sorry, I won't do more. One or sorry, I won't do bread. One or sorry, I won't you. One or sorry, I won't do plantain. One or sorry, I won't do tomatoes. One or sorry, I won't do pepper. One or sorry, I won't do mako. And I say, only your friend say, okra related. And I say, other produce caught either the hair, the beauty care, or for human consumption. A holy beer no the country Ghana sika. Pineapple is a big money, a Maganiska. Tomatoes a big money, a map to my yeska. You say, as I speak, no boys be my friends do a Cote d'Ivoire. German fire, containers of coconut. Or gin peel, no or gin wasa the juice, no, and son and the kernel, no, and so wasa could use for other purposes, so many things, and then there's some deal cool. Look at the money. Coconut oil, look at the money. In Tobano, but coconut. Our about 5 main producer, oil film, also so coconut, your body, your tugu. So at the end of the day, you need enough revenue generation. And what we have forced the country, they say, you are turning Ghana into service nation. Service nation is where I said we only depend on taxes. Not much of our products and the carbon chamber public California to be. Which are to be? Which countries are the service nations? Switzerland, number 1. Made in Swiss product, I don't send the world or market. None. Singapore or service product, but you need Singaporean product and go photo, but we're capitalist. Mukomu, United Kingdom, or a service nation. London, a service, city tax, Benyamano. Ordinary dear carbon to me to an yen or dear co. Apart from the between the portrait and I'm Europe now. British Omaka crown and your commercially viable cars are bit macotonic carriage. A higher ends. I service nation. A dinner Ghana, yen ye KSA feeder. As a timid near Maya, the carbon thing, not necessarily say, ya added value. You do not add value in a bruni maton war and some amount room. No, but the raw material now. Produce more and sell more. You don't tell me say cocoa. Sadeka, we add value. Who are the cocoa? Switzerland is the biggest buyer of cocoa. Or no chocolate in the tourism. Chocolate no in car. It was so better Ghana cocoa, why Ghana chocolate. Fakoma golden tree, the Fakoma Swiss for better on top. To produce more beans, produce more raw materials, produce more farm produce at the raw stick and the cotton juice. You are not buying on yet. Kakana based local consumption. Put your adding value no factor so. Let on local market. And yet, NTC a change. Now cocoa season trema. Ghana cocoa for the past 30 years. Yes, canon to her at the result of say cocoa ayaton sika de biaka debi. You will always go for syndicated loan. And syndicated loan said, your kojisika our profono. And you have a two cuckoo, not bring night no show. Would you scan Korea and a dear channel or bar or see Patrol scan Agyapong because in time of cocoa season in your year. This year, indication of market, cocoa produce, cocoa related products, and ya dear Beko. And the price now, when you have price, metal cocoa now, the Patrol, metal SYZ amount. Wouldn't me there any problem, me Judy. Misika and fabric plus interest. Oko fan wa him. And to watch now could squeeze the farmer. Now the cocoa the price now on your papa dika for Jinsika. And the syndicated loan turns out to be another loan in disguise. Na country didn't want push him. And yes, I never we are manakoso. Therefore, we do not have revenue generation base apart from small taxes. We are dear bread. Any country na man who now they are to Tema port, Takwa the port, and Okotoka International Airport. The country need destiny, they are share a young Mamma diaspora moba, Gamodeba, Modo to go near Amodeba, or furniture our top, or be close to 25 years or quarter, or furniture our deba, or television adeba. That is where the country destiny of making money goes. Because ultimately generated from public and civil services, we go create employment. And ultimately create employment, won't create facility, and the private sector, and this will be also kind, that's also far work and more year Jumawa. Ultimately continue work and 400 Ghana cities a month, and go to your snitch. And the private sector, Obia, on your tax, on your Bibia Magam generation, you've been through Homa. Me, that's time it could be a tongue watch it, no for watch it, and grab to air war, waiters and waitresses, any woman pantry, guest pantry boys, and then opportunities can be a free home. Now, yes, our practice, we are much. So now IMF, they say COVID, and my Sika SI, it is not. We mismanage the economy because COVID gave us money. Yes, how can it be? And now I'm COVID. Now was one of COVID in Ibi. Benin, 1 year COVID in Ibi. The inflation rate is one of the lowest in Africa. Who are raw materials shared? Who are population bigger than Toronto COVID need their fine? Gabon 1 year COVID in Ibi. a rhetoric, political rhetoric talks. Obia beka bet Obia no co parliament. President Bien or other African countries in the best of my knowledge. What could you say? COVID and the Russia war and your country the economy, your dear IMF. And it's like Africa put me as a right. They can't say COVID. They know it is not COVID. Because the COVID came with money. If COVID did not come with money, COVID generated millions of dollars for Kotoka International Airport. But it's come away. So COVID rather gave money more than you lost money because when they first introduced, say, Obaya test, COVID test before arrival and before departure, now $150 across board. Ghana new, Togo new, Nicaragua new, 150. 0 years, acquire one in Necran or home you grab passport $150. OG and look consistently for 5 months. 5 months, $150 captain. 5 months. Now you $150 and OMG. Now you have 3,000 passengers hopping around Kotoka International Airport on daily basis. Look at the money that went in there. And we are until COVID a problem. Nose masks and Kofua almost generate here, quote unquote, government contact persons. And I say, Oma related to government and I'm close to the system. No contract no any a pub with COVID itself. Countries BBB because during the COVID time, you get a service. A car a lot of governments around the world. One fan now. Sir, interest in the commission near Dadina. They gave it. 1G because the economies were not in action. And whereas your economy was standstill, no, it does not mean Sir Kabi and Anka so the monthly statutory debt. I would try interest near that then. Says canning now. Obia do one yes be our jet to one that you are budget, Obia mechi. Apart from the principal sum. And a countries also hear donations. Individual organizations say donations. Business community even within Ghana. Coupled with the fact that 600 million Ghanaian cities are located, say, poverty alleviation or COVID alleviation, what the Ghana enterprises and the corporate. But Bachawan and yes, if I do not say, and if those monies were not given to the people, except some few hotels in Kakaka. Land the same in Amuji, America, Biajibi, German, Europe, Biajibi. Why be an individual? Now, companies now know me and plan say a moment shocks on. Company Ben Yanni. One at Yabo Suka on Yabi. One at Tiswam magazine on Yabi. One at Tin shop on Yabi. Nobody. But that money was allocated and moved out from the consolidated. And the COVID scam. I am much COVID, you know. Yes. You can say economic activity halted. But not notwithstanding, you didn't lose that much as you claim to do. Into COVID, any monies that we spent, Adriania, claim say as against the accountability of that Adriano. Is that what made the COVID wrecked the nation or wrecked the country's economy? In my view, the answer is perfectly no. Because in Accra, all those things Accra, villages will be an okocha the animal for. An individual benevolent philanthropist people and a chair the animal for. And Accra, benevolent and individual philanthropist, which are the more than the government chair. Mimi area from that time till today, matcha bread among Koran area, more than 100 kids till today, but matcha bread among because their parents could not afford. And they also took part. And I'm still taking part. And what are we talking about here? And the COVID in this forum was not the issue. Now, Russia, Ukraine, we remember how could not have also been an issue. Because in Russia, direct trade, you can talk about global markets. And no one said Nema boy the answer no. But countries be should take advantage and make money our African country under the Russia-Ukraine war. Because Europe, your African countries normal supply dairy. I supply milk. Ethiopia supply milk. Kenya, I supply milk till today. We supply oil, avocado, green gold. Kenya for supply or supply tea. Emiano Mupedi, Douglas and one supply near zero. In the other African countries in Bishop or bomb by South Africa, COVID and the Russia war, they have supplied foodstuff to Europe more than any other country on the continent. So for them, no, they wish them trust no even better an economy. So at what point do you tell me, say, war the war I'm managing and will be to war and I'm managing? Because when there's war, countries be benefited. The fighting countries are affected. Europeans are affected. And the more outside, you know, Latin American, Central American countries, you know, were increasing the quota of supplies of tomatoes. We're increasing the quota of supply because European companies that were Italy are going to supply tomatoes. You know, Russia and China, China, Peru, Ecuador, Mexico. These are the countries who must step forward that who must supply tomatoes. And to this Peru, ever be an America said, Russia war and I'm an watching and I be Nanya rather. So United Kingdom has a COVID, I mean, sick as Maba former. Yes. You're talking about high-end hospital, doctors. And then the number of people that were affected. Well, it got to a time, Ghana, like any other African country, even the Europeans in the BAB, started escalating the numbers without any proof. Yeah. If you access, you cannot claim say 20,000. Italy no claims 20,000 people who a day. Spain no claims 100,000 get infected. France and no case about 50,000 people get infected a day. America no say in New York alone every 1 hour and 17,000 people get affected. Now compare yet Diana, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Nipa do say ne Ghana. Accountability wise in terms of bodies that we lost. Nipa do say and another hospital. Now who was the last person to be treated COVID in the Manifest Hospital? Who was that person? Which hospitals were they? And yes, abandoned directly, indirectly, no. Immunization, call it. And as a giving jabs against COVID in the bio. Most of these jabs in were given to us free, except small amount to be that was procured. So Ghana for the Gosan Krana, Menoka say, jab no take here, but here in Namho. Ghana for the Gosan affected in Namho. Whereas in the European nose mask, no. Not Ghana for being in news, not enough. Whereas said Trotro station, we still say contract distance in Ubia one when we are. And another what can say globally it affected the shift and markets of the world yet you see. But some of that at that time I mentioned said the World Health Organization, headed by nobody else than an Ethiopian, Nipple at the time of COVID, you know. It became the most richest airline of all airlines of the whole worldwide. Because I'm packing the plane. Onyensika at the top with Dreamliners more than 14 fleets at the kind of flight. And you won't know. Over Ethiopia, baby, and I catches the COVID money here. It is not the case. And we are talking about scenarios. And they are also benefiting from COVID. The answer is zero. When Timan fa abrobe, when Timan fa cocoyam, when Timan fa your friends with tomatoes, when Timan fa bibia pushi, and fa Europe, and the town affected countries. The Saudi Arabians and then the Middle East, you know, they were at the begging knees, asking for drinking water, when Timan fa bianco. And yet, na Ghanaians, you know, you produce so and it's in the COVID in India, so I can't say a year in-depth analysis. Near your post-mortem, like a mortuary, and as a mock of dead body. In fact, we realized that we were not affected. You realize that we were godly, God spared us. Not only Ghana, but the entire Africa. People say we were Africa generally. When they were forcing South Africa even to give higher values of 50,000, at a point they backlashed. South Africa was no, it is not the reality. Whereas CNN and BBC were calling numbers for South Africa, the Ministry of Health came to say that no, it is not the case on the ground. But they were trying to shift, say, but that was not the case. Now, in the case of UK, in the case of advanced countries, no, so I can't say COVID was saying they put money into the companies that have employed people. They put money into the hotels and no Magrando or Hotels. They put money into manufacturing and producing companies Those companies that contributed taxes to the working, social security, etc. No, women about capitalize you. Now, given the challenge, how many companies were capitalized in Ghana? How many companies were resuscitated? And now say they were they were defibrillated by the system. Say, until we could not push much on COVID. But if you talk about the general economic atmosphere, obi or trying to shop ma one kono affecting any general economy. But we talk about also in relation to contribution from the Ghanaian public. Originally, traditionally, normally, Ghanaian public were contributed to the purse of the Ghana tax system. Virtually almost nothing. And to COVID time, it also had the same similar or more or less the same impact that it's been today. Fast forward. We have been advised, say, now IMF crown will not go because Ghana is beyond age, which was a very fantastic economic underline and undertone of a presidency.
That's right.
For a president.
Yeah.
We are beyond age. That was fine. So beyond age, that is prior to COVID. And then beyond age, after COVID, how has it also gone? How well have we reorganized ourselves? Is that not the same one product and also one exportable product in cocoa and one year train? Ghana IMF IMF, a country of 20 to 35 million population, Sky IMF $3 billion.
Yeah.
$3 billion, IMF from Kra Abekrumha. Georgietta, 40-year-old woman, what baby of Margo, Omubaha at the expense of Ghana. Yamoma Gianni, Yamomo, you become about fact finding mission and only in Triaka. What country no Tria? Oma Petiti, Oma Benum, some year no, Omuja, Omo economic advisors behind, so almost study the terrain. No more advice you. Nanya Bia, if anybody is listening now, your Echo Bank, our Ghana.
Yeah.
Your Stanbic or South Africa Bank, but Ghana. And your APSA, Stanchart, also Ghana. Now, when you put the resources of the three banks, Reservoir is more than $3 billion. Reserve fund, how Umbetima play around. So my question is that, is Ghana government aware that these three banks have more than $3 billion reserve? But because the economic credibility and then the surety, the assurances, and the guarantees and collateral of the Ghanaian government, i.e. not only NPP, but NDC of yesterday, NDC of last week and 2 times ago, also couldn't take money or they couldn't repay the money on contain or ADP, any GCB. And the bank be also know then the customer seek at the Ghana government loan. At the end of the day, the government name Tria, the bank near Bashino. At the end of the day, the bank name Tria, customers will need Ministry of Finance. Customer onim bank of onim commercial bank, onim access bank, onim prudential, onim fidelity in the branch. And one or then a bar and in you then the second age or they call. So the banks feel say, young first animal. Because of the act into IMF. Now IMF would get 3 billion. 3 billion. How much goes into the salary of Ghanaian teachers a month? Police a month, nurses a month, civil servants and government MGs, ministry departments and agencies a month. And then all government related workers, civil servants and public servants, migration customs all put aside. But then also, how far and how well is the accountability of Ghana, IGF, internally generated fund, how far have we used to mitigate some of the salary na yakoji IMF sika dia betua? Because so pick registrar general department sika ko a day no, they're supposed not to go to Ministry of Economic Planning, they're supposed not to go to Ministry of Finance, they're supposed not to go to a accountant general department to collect money because they receive enough and huge, quote me, our business registrations. Enough. But what this cannot not the Attorney General Department. No magic scam. So is that the money that the Attorney General Department as a ministry, is that the money they use to run it? So can the money generated from the Registered General Department yet to me find Makana for not to change? There is no government agency that gets money more than Food and Drugs Administration. FDS come on daily basis. Sasikano can't it pay if not anything at all FDA staffs in the country? It can pay them and still have a result. Sasikano way. Take FDA aside. Ghana Judicial Services Court. Kawaji. I mean also call Attorney General's account. Oya filing. Munkobus are Ghanaian lawyers. Filing fee. We say filing fee. Everything that they file. Sometimes they count with the numbers of documents. One document a year, it be a 55, 200 Ghana, whatever. Munkobu say money that goes into the judiciary. I'm talking about our court system. That money cannot pay Ghanaian judges. We are lying. It's also IGF. What about immigration airports? What about customs? What about the high value of taxes that we collect? Because you are a country in a service nation. So are we saying, say, other state corporations are meant to me muboni nyinano, internally generated fund. Now what about the land survey department, land department, secure land? It's more than any of this. Who can register land, East Legon plot? Who can register West Legon plot? Who can register prime lands, this and that? The money that goes into the registration, that is land survey department. Do we know the money we are talking about? GMA. And it says can't wait. So naturally, your consumption, any developmental agenda, any infrastructure, none of this IGF and yet yes, I cocogisca. And it's a wakojina IMF last over 3 billion. I'm saying is say your Ghanaian individual which may 3 billion. And the government of today and government of yesterday, they knew and they know say Ghana have individuals which may 3 billion. Why don't they go and see that individuals near humiliate here our IMF? And the system is very clear. IMF buyer will roll out a Nyama with some of them Yadikaye. How far and then quietly we start talking about e-levy. Was that not the IMF that gave birth, the discussion of the IMF gave birth and pushed the agenda of e-levy? Because of the Nisikamawa on purchase Ikanbayaka, because the investors and then the shareholders, they are on their neck, on dividend, the SMN be watching. Therefore, ultimately will be Esika, as well the running IMF, new operations, and that's what the transaction or the demand loan and credit, facility and grants. Now we are what's our because IMF said, the patch of this camera Ghana went here. So they hold you and hold your balls. You wait. But now, I am a partner who said, no, enough will still not be enough. See a moment stop employment. Your moment stop allowances from demand nurses. Your moment stop we are still an area aggregation. Any total and any computerization are still a. That is where we are. Now that brings me to say world politics, because in the United States of America, Vice President in the name of Kamala Harris, Accra, Ghana is 3 billion guarantee or guarantor as collateral. American Timon collateralizing your loan. Say I'm afraid anyone in New York, Washington. Into Washington, the Pacho Ghana Sikano, and known as a vice president of Ghana Fusun. Or say a US is following the IMF closely. When Timon make a statement with punch. $3 billion, you go for $3 billion. yakom a trip how many I'm a fakacho say Canada the China no Kone mitigate China. Now no China no as a superpower. Or no one bigger money awajin ukumha. Or the EPC plus F, engineers procurement contracts plus finance. Now no IMF neti America on don't peso be lusu nisika. Name kokacha China said, usika no G no. Waje no on fan chow. Se China the chow the nature said, when the statutory bills be a wutia. Our other loans are watching in China. And the China child, the army, the Bema. China so discussions, you know. It has it. China or your trading partner in 2026, or a trading partner. One in history, one in the story, ADC. One in history, baby of free buy, and a crowd between one in the story, a pet. Into a mouth, Busia. One to me call the Chinese one can't show himself because no. On to me, my mouth, Busia, no conscious of what then you made 2 o'clock. Nemo mababa ambosiana catches some interest, you see. Nemo busana me de maono. Me pasa me timinya kwa jisika. Minya na IMF seko you work as a di. Nemo mu discano kwa de also the koyo road. Okay, road no. Enfa engineer biama. Me first kind man kopa Germany company, and also papa France company, and also Belgium company. Me ame de me company, and your engineers procurement. Me ame de me company ba. Now the finance into the company and sign budget 20 billion. Chief of Praso to keep cost through 20 billion here. Media amount. Name of Scano, media amount top international Chinese company. Now I know uncle, and this kind of was an idea. Into open infrastructure, my own infrastructure amount. Sikana demand my Jim Sika, Betia workers car, what the Meka Betia Meka, that is Chinese system. The work of 1 year. And near my password yet. IMF Bema Kesedi. Name military budget. Sabrina Susamu Kototua. Untimu Kototu no Turkey. That's what better America. America name was on Totu our America. Ototu or Czech Republic. America name was Totu Israel. Or no Totu our Turkish companies be our name was exclusive agreement. Our money yet to move ya. Ototu be Germany. O man say company in your two more on the top. Into one catch or say, low name for the man, shall military budget, no better to ya, never talk, intelligence equipment, the United States never talk, Canada, and sun and interest rates are high. So now IMF or the Ghana Diablo or the feelings and destiny Diablo. And to Sobaya was a board in Tennessee. IMF says Saudi Arabia and here Scana. Your BBC emergency setting. It is almost now once every last Thursday of the month, which we call emergency setting. The board fly from everywhere that they assemble and take decision. Now a country, Ghana for treat your negotiators or Trinity crash our through. The dangerous thing. We are in the consultancy, so we know how it works. IMF, who got this guy on what? Or no better consultant, or paperwork, or the system as you. And yet, His Excellency, your finance minister, or documents, and what they the other brand, your documents are your appraisals. That they even had queries about some of the information that was submitted. Now we do Washington. Washington and in New York, Wall Street, accountants, crack consultants. Our woman they bet you a him. The consultancy fee, I had 3 to 10% on the amount now, Quacogen. And the money is still with them. Now, so Okodan and now Quacogen loan, our bank, ADB, NIB. Any Ghana commercial bank, me you should them become the Ghana bank, government banks. What do they do? What will be a loan or Ghana bank, Ghana government on this can be for loan application levy or better. Or we are was insurance, but no mean insurance. Now insurance they hadn't in a usru. Now many panel was charging collateral. Or what insurance? Or what you wait? So one casa property now the collateral. Some property no. Or the chronology of court. And Robert said to your collateral tax. And to obey you know, 50 million Ghana cedis. Obama 49.2. And the same thing I am from so on your side or consultants in the forward list of certified consultants. As we sit here now, because the government doesn't need to tell us, but of course they know say they are working through consultants. His Excellency President Kofokoji Compact, Millennium Compact, $500 million. Yes, Munko check your consultancy fee free so. And you know the World Bank itself, and that's the American government at the time no catch and say, consultants never put to paper working together. No idea proper presentation. Only a message no the crack on the amount. Now I am a friend who will cover your disbursements, timetable the amount. And the reality is that in the case of business of a government, in the case of finance, in the case of accountability, no emotions. And in the case of business, because Vatican, if you ask a quota, a revenue of a month. Well, because all the Catholic states in Ghana, Roman Catholic in the budget, Kurano, scanning the Kuma, Omo budget. Vatican, where IMF, where the customer. World Bank, where IMF customer. Sigabia no in Vatican. The Holy See population here said the capital of Vatican. Population of Vatican no more or any pope who is the president and also the chief operating officer in terms of governance. And say yet any US is including the Roman Catholic republics, Brazil, bigger economies, Portugal near Dadeno, Sena Vatican, Sela then a man to IMF. And so IMF, but look from some buru, and a Vatican so called Jiska or IMF won't share tax. Because the tax within a tax against the Jesus. And Jesus Christ didn't share tax. Jesus and Bisa won't share tax. So yeah, where I'm heading home, and they say, your generation power, and the dear do baby a dear too. So IMF the 3 billion no my krana 6 months no your hands are up. So let's look beyond the IMF today. The IMF money 3 billion cannot solve Ghana problems in 6 months. Economically it is not true. Economically it is not true. Financial accounting it is not true. Financial practices of governance it is not true. Administratively it is not true. Managerially, it is not true. And then in terms of governance and politics, it cannot take care of Ghana problems. The IMF money of 3 billion intervention. But then look beyond the intervention. And he found a backup.